Hey guys, Scott here, and welcome to the Rework series where I spend way too much time and effort thinking about ways to change killers that have, well, not the best reception, and I will promptly be ignored because I don't even know why I'm bothering with this, but hey, it's fun, and Trickster got delayed, so I thought I would spend some time thinking about this kind of stuff because I do have a lot of interesting ideas, I think, for killer changes, and I thought I would just start with Legion, who I think is one of the most desperately needed changes out of any killer in the game for a number of reasons. One, let's go over the thematic disappointment of Legion. That trailer you just saw, I think everyone was hyped as shit when we saw it, right? But Legion is nothing like the trailer. It makes no sense. It has nothing to do with what the killer actually does. So let's rework his power a little bit. So here is my idea. I thought about making a mock-up for all of these, but it's just too much effort for something that they're just not going to listen to, so that's the point. Let's just go over it. So now when you right-click, when you use your killer power, you don't go into Feral Frenzy. You go into something called Masked Frenzy. As soon as you do this, your terror radius drops to 0. This mode lasts indefinitely until further notice, and you immediately, after about a 1-second animation of the Legion putting on the mask and a black cloud surrounds them, you take the appearance of a survivor that is not incapacitated in the match, just a random survivor. And you might go, oh well, the shapeshifter thing, it'll never work. But this is not really the basis of his power. This is mostly just the thematic thing. So you go into Masked Frenzy, your terror radius drops to 0. This is already an improvement on the original Legion because now you have a stealth mechanic basically. So when this happens, you move identically to the survivor. However, you are locked to just running. You run at 100% movement speed. You run identically to the survivor. There is no discernible difference whatsoever. You can't crouch or anything like that. You can't walk. You can only run. So that would be one kind of giveaway. But you have no terror radius, and you're, other than that, completely indiscernible. Now, when you are in this power, you are stuck moving at normal speed, but you can press the alternative killer button, which is control on PC anyway. And when you do that, you will go into the standard Feral Frenzy. This rework incorporates the entire base Legion just with more stuff. So in this mode, you are now in Feral Frenzy. But the thing is, you still don't have a terror radius when this is happening. And what happens is, what you would visually see is you go from 100% movement speed to the base Legion movement speed, which I think is 125 or 6 or something, I'm not 100% sure. But you'd start moving a whole lot faster, and you'd pull out a knife, and you would start doing the Legion breathing, just like you see it right now. However, you would look like a survivor. You would just look like a Claudette with a knife. So just picture the thematic, appearance of this. The match spawns, you're just running to a gen, you see a Claudette running across the corn, and she kind of turns toward you, and then she just fucking pulls out a knife and starts sprinting at you. I think that'd be fucking sweet. Like, it would actually be genuinely like, oh shit, like, it would actually be scary, and it has more benefits than just being thematically very cool. But I'll go into that in a bit. So when you press control, you have the same duration as the Feral Frenzy. You can't just run in Feral Frenzy mode forever, because that'd be silly. It functions the exact same way as the current Feral Frenzy. You just look like a survivor during that time. Now, as soon as you make contact with a survivor, then the black cloud appears, and then you turn back into normal Legion. But your terror radius stays off during the entire Feral Frenzy as long as you can chain things together. And so thematically, I think that is already much, much cooler. Additionally, also, when you're in the Masked Frenzy mode, you can simply use your power again to cancel it, take off your mask. It's the same animation, or it's the same duration as the fatigue animation, but it would just look cooler because instead of just going, you would just like take off the mask and there'd be a cool black entity smoke cloud or whatever. But now let's go over the actual gameplay effect of this, because while I think we can agree that it's pretty damn cool, Legion needs to be buffed. Legion sucks ass. So we need to actually buff the killer. But I think these changes actually do buff the killer, because let's look at what Legion actually is good at. Legion is good at dealing with survivors when they are all grouped up together. The problem is when you hit a survivor in Feral Frenzy, or even just activate your frenzy, everyone knows where you are. It's very obvious. So as soon as you tag somebody with Feral Frenzy, people are just going to spread out, and your power is basically useless. Any good team is just going to spread out, and you don't do anything. You actually do less than nothing, because when you hit the original survivor, you don't even confirm a down on them or anything. You just hit them and run away. And if you don't make it to another survivor, you just wasted all of your time and it ends up being useless. So if we had this sort of inbuilt, thematic stealth mechanic built into him, then it would allow you to get closer to survivors without giving them a chance to actually spread out first. So you might see 2 people on a generator and you'll approach them. And even if they, within a second or 2 realize that you're the Legion, it's fine because you at least got some type of a jump on them and you'll probably be able to tag 2 of them now. And it's not like it's overpowered or anything because you still can't down them in this mode. And as soon as you cancel it, you take off your mask and it's super obvious who you are. Your terror radius comes back and all that stuff. But it gives you a much better chance to spread out that punishment that Legion is so desperate to do because that's just how Legion works, So I think that would be a decent change. The fuck are we looking at? Why is this in the Legion trailer? All right, whatever. Thanks, B-roll. I think just a simple thing like that would be very cool. You would still keep the exact same base Legion mechanics. You would just add this masked mode for the theme purposes, and you would just have that so you can actually get multiple chains on your power a bit more. Honestly, you could probably use even more of a buff than that because Legion is awful, but I thought I would probably make these a bit timid because I want to make them even somewhat realistic for the devs to add, just because I think that's a good goal to aspire to. Otherwise, I'd be saying, Legion to be shooting fucking laser beams out of his eyes because he's just that bad. But I think that'd be a really cool change. I'm curious to hear what you guys think. I honestly just think, running in a field and just seeing a survivor just, casually running and then all of a sudden they start running faster would just be pretty neat. But that is it, guys. Curious to hear what you think. And I will, I guess, continue with this series and go over some other changes I think that could be done. Not that they'll be heard or anything like that, but it's fun to think about. So that's it, guys. See ya.